Hello, can you please state your name and profession?
My name is Diane Stepani, and I'm a registered nurse.
Okay. What experience or knowledge is required to do your job?
Um, in order to receive a bachelor's in nursing, it's 4 years of college at a nursing school. You can also be a nurse and not be an RN. You can be a nurse and be an LPN, which is a licensed practical nurse, which does not require as much schooling.
Okay, what preparation or courses did you find necessary or helpful upon entering the job? What was your major in college?
My major in college was Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Um, However, I did have some additional training on my own prior to becoming a nurse. When I was in nursing school, I worked for a hospital and I was a nursing assistant. And then during college, I was a student nursing assistant. And before I passed my boards, I was a graduate nurse before I became an actual RN.
Okay, what advice would you give someone thinking about this career?
Um, hmm. Well, I think you really have to have a passion to help other people. It's it's very rewarding because of helping people, but it's not really just a job. I think of it as more of a career and profession. It's really not a 9 to 5 thing. I very often do take it home with me. I sometimes dream about working, very often think about my patients, so it's just like not a 9 to 5 job. I suppose there are actually many different kinds of nursing. There's lots of careers you can have in nursing. So actually it's a good profession to pursue because there's lots of different opportunities out there. You could be an RN and work in a hospital. You could work in a nursing home. You could be a school nurse. You could even be professor of nursing or teach nursing school. I myself am a home health nurse, which is quite different because I actually go house to house, providing nursing care of many different types to people who are homebound. It's not easy for them to get out, so the nursing care comes to them in their home, which is kind of specialized these days because everything is coming to cost of care, especially with the baby boomers. The baby boomers are aging, so there is going to be supposedly a shortage of nursing to care for the elderly. So it should be high demand, and it's very costly to provide medical care for the elderly. And they say that it's cheapest, most cost-effective to do it in their own home. Nursing homes are quite expensive, and hospital care is extremely expensive. So I think insurance companies, Medicare, any kind of reimbursement, they're always looking to make things more cost-effective. So I think there's many different areas for nursing, and I really enjoy home health. It offers me a lot of flexibility because I can kind of choose my own hours. I can choose to work weekends, not work weekends. I can kind of choose my hours. I mean, the people that I see usually prefer to be seen from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. People don't usually choose to be seen at midnight, so that's a bonus. However, with home health, there is lots of paperwork. That seems to be the downfall. And as much as I have flexibility, there are some cons to being not being 9 to 5. The paperwork just never goes away, so I work sometimes 24/7. So, do you have any other questions?
Yes, what made you choose this career?
Well, that's an interesting story. Um, I was always good at math and science. Those were my best classes. And I always loved to babysit and take care of babies. So it was actually my mother who came up with the idea for me to be a nurse. She said, Diane, you love babies. You're good at math and science. Why don't you become a nurse? And I said, okay, Mom, I think that's a great idea. I'll become a nurse. And really, I wanted to be a nurse to take care of babies. And that's kind of ironic because I am actually, being a nurse, taking care of the most elderly population, which is the geriatrics. Most of my patients are 80 plus years of age. I actually have a soon-to-be 97-year-old gentleman that I am caring for right now. So lots of times what you plan to do is not always how it turns out to be.
Okay, and last question. What is the biggest challenge you've encountered?
Well, one of the hardest challenges I've had is that you don't go to nursing school and miraculously become a wonderful nurse. I went to college thinking that I would graduate with my RN degree and I would know everything I needed to know to provide services and be that RN that I had the title of being. And it wasn't until I actually got my first real nursing job I discovered that I pretty much knew nothing about nursing that I really needed to know in real life. For example, in nursing school, I prepared for my patients, I researched them. I had one patient. I took care of that patient for maybe an hour. And in real life, you don't have any preparation time. You're given an assignment of 6 patients to take care of all at once for at least 8 hours a day. And nowadays it's 12 hours a day. So there's just so many things that you don't know. You know, in nursing school, you learn a lot about everything. You learn about psychiatric nursing. You learn about psychiatric is like mental health. And you learn about baby care, neonatal nursing, delivering babies. And when you're on a nursing floor, you suddenly have all patients who are in a specialty. For example, mine were all urology patients, which has to do with elimination and blood transfusions and surgical patients. So a lot of that superficial knowledge became obsolete. However, in the long run, was helpful in a way because you really need to know what else is out there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.